This week at Warner Bros. Movie World, the opening for Scooby-Doo Spooky Coaster is revealed. Hello everyone, welcome back to the YumYum Report, bringing you bite-sized updates from Australian theme parks, as well as occasional updates from theme parks around the world. Before we start, I'd like to give a special thanks to Team YumYum for supporting my content. Thank you so much. Scooby-Doo Spooky Coaster has been closed for a very long time in preparation for its retrofit refurbishment, and Movie World finally released information about when it's going to be reopening again. Zoinks, grab your Scooby snacks and get ready. Scooby-Doo Spooky Coaster returns to Movie World Oz this December. This is very, very exciting news. It's fantastic to finally get some news about this amazing attraction, which is so iconic and well loved. And we still don't really know too much about this new version of the attraction. Movie World did drop a little teaser trailer, and it seems like the ride is going back to its kind of classic aesthetic rather than the next generation version, which was very controversial. In the Instagram post, we can see the iconic shot of Scooby looking absolutely mortified with one of the demons from the film screaming behind him. So it does seem like the attraction is still going to be themed after the live action film in some way, but we still don't really know too much about what's actually going to change about the overall ride experience and storyline. I'm personally hoping for more of a return to form with emphasis on practical set pieces and theming and animatronics rather than screens and projections. I hope they can put more of a storyline into the ride with a clear beginning, middle, and end, which is something I feel like has been somewhat missing in both iterations of the attraction. I think the original version definitely had more of a storyline, but even that was a little bit loose. The only real information we have about the new version of Scooby-Doo Spooky Coaster is an update post on Movie World's website in 2024, highlighting some of the changes to the ride system that we can expect. There'll be upgrades to the track and operation system, as well as more modern, up-to-date comfortable trains, as well as a test seat for guests to make sure that they fit on the ride. While I was visiting the park this week, I did notice that it looked like there were some staff members in the queue area for Scooby-Doo Spooky Coaster having a discussion about shade, I believe. Sounded like they were maybe talking about where to put shade or something, which would be a great addition to the outside section of the queue, which can get quite hot, especially in summertime. They definitely need more shade, especially after the opening of Flight of the Wicked Witch, which is quite infamous for the lack of shade. Some other things I would love to see return along with the attraction are the music outside the ride. They always used to play this really great spooky music, which I absolutely loved. I'm a huge fan of anything spooky or Halloweeny, so I really want to have that back in the area because sometimes it gets pretty quiet and feels a bit desolate. I'd also love to see some interactive elements in the queue area itself, with maybe some animatronics or even things that you can directly interact with. That's a great way to integrate the storyline into the ride as well, because guests can kind of get a handle on the story for the attraction before they actually get on the ride. You see a lot of parks overseas like Disney and Universal doing this. The experience doesn't just start when you get on the ride, it's something you get a sense of just by seeing the attraction for the first time, the facade, getting into the queue, building the atmosphere and the anticipation for the attraction. A great example of this is Mystic Manor at Hong Kong Disneyland. As soon as you see this ride, the experience already starts, and the queue experience is fantastic. There's a pre-show. You really get an idea of the storyline before you actually get on the attraction. And I think this would work really well for Scooby-Doo Spooky Coaster. In the past, they have played clips from the live action film on a projector screen in the corner of the queue, and in the past they also played behind the scenes footage as well, which were both interesting enough, but I would personally be more interested in something that actually adds to the experience of the ride itself. The ride facade for Scooby-Doo Spooky Coaster has pretty much been completely painted over now, which is fantastic to see. It's definitely returned back to that original look. I think we can probably expect to see some more additions to the exterior of the ride, such as a new sign and maybe the test seat as well. I also think it would be a great opportunity to have some kind of photo opportunity that they could put nearby the attraction. I mean, the ride facade itself is a great photo opportunity, but I mean somewhere that the Scooby-Doo characters would come out and do meet and greets and stuff. That's one thing they did really well with the Wizard of Oz precinct. They had a few photo ops there, which I felt were quite well integrated into the precinct, and something like that would work really nicely for Scooby-Doo Spooky Coaster. What upgrades, changes, or additions to the new version of Scooby-Doo Spooky Coaster would you most like to see? Let me know down below in the comments, and in my next video I'll read your comments and your thoughts. Let's start a little discussion. I hope you enjoyed watching this episode of the YumYum Report. Please feel free to leave a like, a friendly comment, or subscribe for more. And I'll also be adding a new segment to these videos where I'll feature highlight clips that you've recorded during your trips to theme parks. So if you have any interest interesting clips that you've recorded on a visit to a theme park. It doesn't have to be an Australian park. Feel free to send me an email, a message on Instagram or Facebook. Once I get enough footage, I'll add a little segment and we'll highlight some cool moments that people have experienced at parks. Thank you so much again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye. And before we finish, I'd like to wrap things up by giving a very special thank you to the members and sponsors of Team YumYum for supporting my content. Thank you so much everyone for your very kind and generous support. It really means a lot to me that you enjoy my videos enough to support the channel in this way, and it helps me cover a lot of the costs associated with running the channel as well, which is a huge help, so I really appreciate it and I can't thank you enough. A big thank you to the members: Randall, Maloney's Coasters, Kai on the Internet, Oogie Boogie, Theme Park Ogre, Jordan Casey, Johnny Boy 175, The Downy Cat, Movies Like Everyone, and Mika. Thank you very much. And a very special thank you to the Team YumYum sponsors: Koala75, Audrey Allen, Senpai's JP Blue Dog, Senpai's JP Red Dog, Wayne Hewitt, Lee Donald, SW Stevie 1, The Kez, and Mr. WG. Thank you so much again everyone for your very kind and generous support, and for anyone who would like to become a member or a sponsor of Team YumYum, you're more than welcome to do so. This will give you access to new videos early. You'll also get a special shout out and thanks at the end of my videos, some emojis to use in the comments, a sticker next to your username, and last but not least, you'll also get a custom illustrated character hand drawn by me to suit your very needs and requirements. And as an additional way to support the channel, I also have the Team YumYum sponsorship available, which will give you access to all the perks of the membership, but as an additional perk, I will also animate your character doing a little dance which will appear on screen, which will be super fun, super cool, and super cute. But if you're not in a position to support the channel in this way, you're more than welcome to leave a like, a friendly comment, or subscribe for more. Thank you so much again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.